And we are live. Welcome back to another episode of Films and Fandoms. Now I'm just sharing the link to this from the Facebook. Hold on. I should have probably shared this before I went live, but I'm an idiot. Anyways,
It
so today,
happens. It's fine. We were busy doing other things.
uh, so we
Like
are.
me mopping my floor. And I completely forgot that we were doing this. I was doing laundry and all that. But yeah, I'd forgotten.
I
Like,
did all my laundry,
forgotten.
but anyways, so
This is also a fun. This is a fun episode. Just
it is.
putting that out there.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking Leverage, season 3, episode 5, the double blind job. And again, wants to join by Alex. Before we get into this episode, I'd like to thank parent company / sponsor, AFCO.org. And if you would like to support the podcast, you can buy us a coffee on Ko-Fi, which is Films and Fandoms, and it is also linked in the chat if you would like to buy coffee to support the podcast. So, the double blind job. So, a bit of a summary before we get into this episode. The team goes into the world of Big Pharma to take down a CEO that is selling a drug that will kill people. The team faces a couple challenges along the way, with Nate's anger against Big Pharma and Parker's jealousy when Hardison gets close to the client. The director for this episode is Mark Roskin, so a very familiar face in the Electric Entertainment verse. And writers for this episode are Melissa Glenn and Jessica Reeder. So we got our writing duo, Glenn Reeder.
And you know when it's those two ladies, that is going to be an awesome episode.
So I finally looked on the IMDb. So as of up to this point, so Mark Roskin has directed an episode of NCIS. It was season 23, episode 6, Page Turner.
Yep. And that one, can I just, like, little side note, the way that he directed that episode was freaking hilarious because it was inside of McGee's head. It was trippy.
You know what? That feels like something a buddy of Dean Devlin would do.
Yeah. And I like his directing style. Let me just put it that way, because the camera angles and stuff were awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, he does. So, Mark Roskin has all directed Leverage, season 1, episode 6, The Stork Job. He's also directed season 2, episode 2, The Tap Out Job, season 2, episode 5, The 3 Days of the Hunter Job, season 2, episode 10, The Runway Job, and season 2, episode 13, The Future Job. And he will go on to direct 6 episodes in this season, including this episode, season 3, episode 8, The Boost Job, season 3, episode 10, The Underground Job, 314, The Ho 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 Job, and the 2-part season 3 finale.
Because he's also he's been on a few other projects with Electric Entertainment, such as the movie Flyboy.
Season 4, he's also directed 12 episodes of The Librarians, 3 episodes of Almost Paradise, 2 episodes of The Art, 12 episodes of Leverage Redemption, and an episode of The Librarians, The Next Chapter. So,
but yeah, he's been part of a lot. But yeah, it's really cool to see the fact that he isn't just exclusive to Leverage. He's in
also
every part of a Electric Entertainment production, pretty much.
And Melissa Glenn and Jessica Reeder have also written season 1, episode 3, The Two Horse Job, The 30 Days of the Hunter job in season 2, episode 5, and the Zanzibar Marketplace job in season 2, and also they will write season 3, episode 10, the Underground job. And Jessica Reeder, now Jessica Grassi. So this is she also wrote 3 episodes of White Collar. When I was looking on her IMDb, I discovered that.
Oh, that's awesome.
For those, it's credited as Jessica Grassi. Is that her name? Leverage, she's still credited as Jessica Reeder. So that's why we say Jessica Reeder.
Yep.
But yes, on to the actual episode. So we open this episode with a woman named Ashley enjoying a coffee with her sister Lisa. And after some playful banter about a Swister, Lisa collapses. And then we cut to 3 years later. We find out that Lisa has died, and Ashley is meeting with the doctor who seems to have information about Lisa's death, except she gets a phone call and looks away. And then when she looks back to the table, the doctor's gone, leaving only a napkin with the word Arcadia on top and like 5 names you can see. And and then she gets chased by 2 goons. And then Ashley conveniently runs into Hardison, and because she knocks into Hardison, they knock into Elliot. And I'm getting there. Hold on. You got to do the setup. You got to do the setup.
I'm sorry. I can see it in my head. That's making me laugh.
The goons flop their badges, and I was just like, see, you made 2 mistakes, bro. 1, you flashed that fake ass FBI badge at me, and 2,
you spilled his coffee.
And proceeds to show Elliot wearing a white, I'm assuming it's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
With a big old coffee stain.
Yeah, he's got a hoodie over top of, like a zip putty over top of that, and there's a big old coffee.
Big old coffee stain on his shirt from spilling the coffee.
And he looks at his shirt and he's just like, hands up like this, like,
I think we hear him,
and then looks up, and as soon as he looks up, I go, uh-oh.
Yeah, because Elliot then proceeds to whoop their asses.
And I love what Hardison does.
Because he just pulls her into his chest.
Covers her face. He's like, don't look. I was like, ooh.
It's okay, I got you. You can just
fuck out of it. And he's just flinching. Hardison's flinching. I don't know if that was like 100% scripted, but if it was, that was fucking hilarious. So, ooh, that had to hurt.
Oh, yeah. And then we get to the intro, and then we go to the bar where Ashley is sitting beside Hardison at one of the bar tables, and Nate's across from him. And Ashley's kind of, Hardison's got his laptop out, and Ashley's explaining that her sister was part of this drug trail from a medication called HD1, and died a week later after the trial due to acute liver failure. And the pharmaceutical company, JRP Pharmaceuticals, sent basically like a lawyer to her house to try and do like a settlement, except Ashley convinced her parents to not take the settlement because they were like claiming it was some freak accident that Lisa had some pre-existing condition. But Ashley convinced them to not take the settlement
because, like, in her mind, something wasn't quite right. Like, you can see it in her eyes. There's like, I don't believe that what they were telling us.
Yeah, and Ashley also she was like, like you said, the same place where she used to eat pancakes, and you could see her like get choked up, and Hardison like comforts her. And what's interesting is you see Parker, like you don't see this at first, but then like the camera then goes to Parker, and you see her sitting at the bar, and she's just staring right at Hardison and Ashley. And like you could see like gears kind of turning in her head a bit.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I don't like this. Why don't I like this? I honestly don't think she really has the not. I don't want to say vocabulary, but
I mean, this also
she doesn't have experience.
It cements the fact that she is autistic coded, like, because that would be like, why am I feeling the way that I am about this person? I've felt this before about my boyfriend, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, why do I feel this way? What's going on in my brain right now?
But like Parker, she obviously knows what like jealousy is,
but she's never felt it.
I think what she's heard of and probably what she's experiencing, there's that disconnect there, and that's the
she knows. Oh, this is a word that people use.
The problem.
I know what it's described as, but she's never felt it.
Like there's no way.
Right then.
She's like, no, this ain't jealousy.
She was like, this emotion is weird. Like you can see it in her eyes. She's like, this is weird. I don't understand this.
Yeah. But anyways, Ashley then goes on to say, she believed that like she convinced her parents to not take the settlement because she believed her sister couldn't be bought and she would get justice. And it's like, except you didn't. And Ashley looks at Nate and is like, like you've been there before. And it's like kind of because he's thinking of his son.
Yep.
And we all know what happens when Nate starts thinking of his son during the job.
He goes off the fucking rails.
Yep, and shit kind of starts hitting the fan.
Yeah, but mainly he goes off the fucking rails. And it's so bad.
But Ashley also reveals that they tried to sue GRP Pharmaceuticals, but because they claimed Ashley or Lisa had a pre-existing condition, they didn't. They ended up losing, and so she's been on this crusade of justice for 3 years. Which, if you think about it, also mirrors Nate in season
being on
1.
The crusade of getting justice and taking down bad people.
It's a bit more. I don't want to say a bit more violent. Well,
a little bit more reckless than hers.
More reckless, yeah.
And let's admit, it is. Let's admit,
Nate was just
fucking. Her approach to it is very calm and kind of like, I hate this. This makes me mad, but I want to try to fix this.
Legal way.
And then him is just like completely off the walls, crazy.
Oh yeah, let's just steal from a bunch of rich assholes with my newfound family feeds who won't leave me the fuck alone.
Yep.
Just get fucking therapy, Nate. Jesus Christ.
It's a very like twisted, because I mean, yeah, we get the twisted Robin Hood effect from his choice, but with her, it's like what she's doing isn't. She feels like what she's doing isn't enough. What has been done isn't enough.
Which, to be fair, if Nate got therapy, then we wouldn't get leverage.
Wait. I have a This is really weird. This came to me.
Think about it. If Nate got therapy, there wouldn't be.
No, imagine what if all of like the leverage jobs and stuff are him talking to a therapist, and it's like what's in his mind as he's speaking to them, because each episode gets a little bit more and more deranged.
I mean, it is kind of technically all the episode. Well, my only argument about that is that not every episode and not every moment is from his point of view.
Yeah.
If everything was from his point of view, I'd understand that a bit more. That would be my only thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not dismissing it at all.
It's because the reason why I say that is just like because like he's like, oh yeah, we've helped these people, but here's kind of the link to this, and I was like, explaining it.
Yeah.
But in his head, that's what he's seeing is.
So, do you really think Nate would talk to a therapist? Let's be real.
Probably. Because if he was desperate enough.
Do we think he got therapy after him and Sophie got married?
She made him have therapy.
Yeah, that
forced him to go to therapy.
Then she. Oh, I totally. Sorry, I just had this now image in my head of Nate pulling his shit and Sophie playing the married card.
Yes,
like,
and
I
can see that. I can see that because
shit, and like, Sophie's like, "You married me, baby. Like you married me, babe. What?
It's like you need help, and I'm gonna make you get help, whether you like it or not."
And then Sophie had to kick his ass one time before the next time Sophie called him out, and they were just like, "Yes, ma'am."
She was like, "Okay, I'll do it."
And immediately,
don't. She's like, "Don't hurt me." But I mean, there is like the way that I see it. He's very cathartic about how each of the episodes in this season it varies. It goes up and down between the levels of crazy with Nate. Because you can tell when he's starting to kind of regress back into season 1 him a little bit, and then he gets a grip on himself and goes, "No, I need to focus on changing what I'm doing." And
usually Sophie is the one that does that, though.
Yeah. And he kind of learns from like, "Oh, okay, I'm being too much of a jerk right now. I realize that you called me on it. Okay, let's fix this."
Yeah, and she gets him good this episode, but so back to the episode. So Ashley's been on this 3-year crusade for justice, and she's been coming up empty until Dr. Roberts contacted her, gave her the napkin, and then disappeared. She hasn't been able to get in contact with him. And Ashley also is kind of painting Hardison as this like knight in shining armor. And this is funny because she calls Hardison Alec. And you see the cameras on Parker now. And Ashley also has her arm wrapped around Hardison's arm.
Yeah.
And Parker mouths like Alec. Which if you remember in the Inside Job, when Parker was calling Archie like sir.
Yep.
Archie was like calling her kiddo.
Yeah.
Nate was like kiddo. And then was like, sure. like he didn't understand like why Parker would like why that like kind of language would be used between like those two people. And in this case, it's not Parker being like, why is she calling him Alec? Like everyone calls him Hardison.
Yep.
Like the only people who we have never actually so far we have never seen anyone call Hardison Alec. Probably besides Nana.
True. Except Parker. Parker's the only one that's ever called him that.
That's later though.
Yeah.
She does. Later though, she calls him Alec.
Yep.
But I just imagine, I feel like the reason she doesn't is because if Parker were to call Hardison Alec, he'd immediately be like, what did I do wrong? Look. Hardison was raised by an older black woman, and you can't tell me he didn't get his ass if she used the government name. You can't.
No, that actually brought to mind. I watched this. It's kind of linked a little bit.
Go ahead.
It was a clip of I think the next episode for The Rookie, which is like my other show that I love.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
And Lucy calls him Bradford instead of Tim, and he goes, "What did I do wrong?"
And then Angela did the same thing to Wesley.
Angela does the same thing to Wesley, and he goes, "What? What did I forget?"
Husband. And he's like,
And
oh,
it was the I'm in trouble. But the look of pure fear on Tim's face at this like barely
shit.
5 foot cop.
Hey,
His
look.
girlfriend, his living girlfriend, saying Bradford instead of Tim to get his attention. He looked around so fast. He goes, "What'd I do?"
Hey, look. At this point, I mean, to be fair, Eric is married to a Latina.
True.
There's probably some crossover there.
A little bit, but the fierce panic on his face is fucking hilarious. And I giggled. I'm gonna cackle when I get to that episode. It's gonna be next week.
To be fair,
I'm gonna laugh
about Lucy back. He ain't gonna be fucking that up anytime soon.
No, he's gonna try not to. But the look at and then Wesley with Angela, who's a Latina. Oh my! He's like, I fucked up, didn't I? What did I forget? He goes, "Did I forget an anniversary? Did I forget a birthday? What did you? What?"
I was like, no, I forgot to tell my fucking DA. That's all. And
then she just smiles at him, and I go, somebody's in trouble. But that's what I see in my head in this moment. It's like, what'd I do?
Yeah.
Pure panic.
Yeah.
It's funny in any like show that I've watched. It's hilarious.
Okay, to be fair, I would react the same way if my mother called me about my government name.
I panic every time I get called by my full first name and not Alex.
Oh yeah.
I panic.
Okay, because see that's being raised Midwest, and that's being raised Midwest, and me that's being raised redneck.
It's worse if you get your full first name and your middle name.
And then full government name.
No, it's your full first name and your middle name together.
Oh yeah,
that's how you know you fucked up.
Oh, have you seen where they do that to the football players?
Yes, and I've had that happen to me a few times.
They're all like the government.
It's like you're gonna go government name.
These PMA awards too, and you can tell which ones were raised Southern because there's ones like,
when they did it to who was it? I think it was Cody Johnson. He goes, "Yes, ma'am." What did I do? And I never laughed so hard in my entire life. But yeah, like the utter panic of him getting called by his first name. He probably was like, I fucked up. What did I fuck up about? What's going on?
Messing with them.
I love it.
Yeah, we should give it.
But yeah, there's like an actual like fear. Like you could see it kind of in Hardison's eyes a little bit of like, she.
Well, he probably introduced
I'm concerned.
Hardison.
Yeah, and no, when he looks over at Parker.
Oh yeah.
Is like, oh crap.
Yeah, because Parker or Hardison takes like the names that were on the napkin, and he starts like doing his thing, and he says that Arcadia is a town 30 miles from Boston, but he can't find anything on the people, which is like huge red flag. Can't find any digital footprint whatsoever for these people. And of course, Ashley is kind of impressed, and Hardison offers to show her like how he does everything, and gets her a refill of her drink. And then Parker kind of lets her jealousy show when Hardison goes over to get Ashley a refill, because she's like, like, did you run like the background on her? Hardison just looks at her like, she's just a woman who needs help. Parker's like, well, she can't
and it was more of like a that's not how we do things sort of way, and it's making her a little nervous. But
I think so too.
Hardison realizes that the their soon-to-be client, is kind of freaking out and a little bit scared. So he's taking the softer approach with her.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Well, I think in reality that's Parker's jealousy, except she doesn't process it as jealousy because she's never been jealous before.
Up until this point.
Yeah, up until this point.
But I like how Hardison is handling it. He's like,
keep an eye on it.
He kind of like explained it a little bit differently to her, in the way that he kind of said, just relax, I got this, pretty much. He said it in different words, but just by his body language, he's like, I could tell in his face, he was like, the girl's terrified. Let me try to like calm her down and see what's going on and see if we can help.
Yeah, except Hardison goes back over. Then Parker goes over, Jack in the chair with her, sits down beside Nate, has like kind of one of these things, and is just staring down Ashley. And you can see Ashley kind of gets a bit uncomfortable, and she's trying to be polite.
And you know what I just realized? The way that she sits down and leans back.
Don't.
It's full on like mimicking Elliot in the Scheherazade job with the, it's like, can your dog do that? And he just like,
right.
Yeah, the cocky lean back of like, I'm watching you.
or no, being like, can your dog do that?
That little, but you can see it in the way that she's holding her shoulders. She's mimicking Elliot in that moment of, you need to back off.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of what autistic people do, don't they?
I love it. I don't realize that I do it, but I mimic my dad and my mom quite a bit. I don't realize that I do it.
I'll mimic voices.
So do I, and then it's weird.
Yeah, like
who I'm around.
Work, and then
it's funny. Like when I'm,
they have. I'll not slip into it, but I'll start speaking in their cadence.
What was funny was, this was the last Sunday that I was at church. I was mimicking the cadence that my pastor was speaking in. Like we were just talking, and I started to mimic her cadence, and she just looked at me and just kind of smiled. And I go, "Oh, I'm doing the voice thing again, aren't I?" And she goes, "Yeah, a little bit, honey." And I go, "I don't mean to. I'm sorry." She goes, "It's adorable." And I'm like, "I'm not cute." And then her husband goes, "You kind of are." But I did it by accident. I do it accidentally, and I don't realize that I do it. And then, like, or I'll slip into like a little bit of like a different like vocal range, like, like different cadence in my voice, and I'll either go speak too fast or slow it down, which is really weird.
Hi, Perry.
That was kind of creepy, but that was funny at the same time. But yeah, I as an autistic person, I do it too. I mimic.
Yeah, where we mimic. Yeah.
Yeah. I've even mimicked like the old like radio voices and the way that I speak on the phone.
You know what's funny, Perry? You'll if you hear me say some of this stuff, you probably caught me doing this. But sometimes I will say something that I heard on like a radio ad. And because I've listened to it so many times, I start mimicking the radio. I used to work for a radio show called the Polka Party, and Perry works for the same station now as a radio DJ. Just bare Vines. But I will kind of, if there's like an ad or something, I'll start like mimicking the way my old boss. He's got no. Congratulations, Perry. We should probably get back to the episode. All right, so of course the chair dragging. I don't know if you know what I'm thinking with the chair dragging. That fucking gay hockey show. Fucking Ilya Rozanov.
Yep.
Russian motherfucker.
Cocky motherfucker, more like it.
Well, I'm. Wait till you see what happens in season 2, Alex.
Oh god, is it hot in here, or am I like blushing? Oh, good lord.
Well, I mean, they don't call Heat Valley for nothing.
Anyway,
hey baby, let's go. Moving on. Show. When like Parker sits down to and she's staring daggers at Ashley. Nate's Hardison finds out that 8 months prior, Dr. Roberts worked at JRP Pharmaceuticals and it was bought out by Palagen Laboratories. And he got let go along with a bunch of other researchers. So that's kind of like that connection point. And Hardison says they should take it to the poker room. And Nate has Parker go to Parker meet up with Sophie, and they could go to the Arcadia to like see what they can find out. Except Nate asked about Parker, and Parker's like, "He's like Arcadia, go find Nate."
I like how he has to go. Like, hey, focus.
Like Parker.
And then she kind of like snaps out of like her zoning in.
But she stares daggers.
I know, but it's like the pissed. I call it the pissed off hyper focus. I've done this before. When I see girls talking to my boyfriend, I do the same thing. I stare at them until they look at me, and I just stare at them even more until they look away.
Oh no, I've done that when I've like.
I did that pretty recently with a good friend of his. We were at the Renaissance Fair,
okay,
and a high school friend of his came up and started talking to him. She was really cute. I thought she was pretty. I loved her outfit, and I just looked at her. She looked at me, and then she looked away, and Nico didn't even notice. I was glaring her down. I was so like, get away from him. He's mine.
No, I've done the daggers too. Like, okay. PSA to all men: if you are going to the airport with your wife or girlfriend, fiance, what have you, act fucking right. The amount of men I've interacted with that will talk, like, will say some nasty shit about their wives. I'm like, I have to control my face because I have the same thing my mother has, where my face, I can't control my face and my mouth at the same time. So I got to pick and choose the one I got to control first. And most of the time it has to be my mouth. So I don't get in a fight.
Yep. I've had that happen. I've been annoyed at somebody that I've been working with, and my face will say something that I don't really intend to, and I just bite the inside of my mouth not to say anything. And one of my coworkers called me out on it. She called me out on it. She goes, "You're pissed, aren't you?" I go, "No, yeah, you are. I can see it all over your face." I was like, "Ah, shit."
Oh, yeah. Couples, out of the amount of couples that I've interacted with, okay? I work at the freaking airport. Calm down. Anyways, moving on to the episode again before I get myself into more trouble. Show. Hardison says that Elliot's changing his shirt because he's got coffee and some blood and teeth on his shirt. And Hardison's got to go call him so he can go to Dr. Roberts' address. So we see Elliot, hair half up. I think personally that's his best look. That's just me.
I mean, to be fair, Christian can rock any hairstyle, up, down, half up. But it's
Yes.
cute when he pulls his hair back and ties it back, and I go, "Ooh, he means
Yes.
business. He's gonna kick somebody's butt."
Well, in this case, he like knocks on the door. He doesn't answer, and he's like, "Okay, like the door is locked, and like no one's answered." And Nate's like, "All right, just break in and be subtle." And it's like, Elliot's like, "Yeah, yeah." Kicks the fucking door down, and Nate's just looking like, "Not subtle." Like, Elliot, kicking down a damn door is not subtle. Okay, it's sexy, but not subtle.
Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest. Anyways, Elliot does his searching around, and he sees a keychain with a BMW, like it's a key fob, a BMW key fob. And Elliot's around. He's like kind of a small apartment to be uh, driving a BMW. And that triggers Hardison to look, and it's like he doesn't drive a BMW. I think Dr. Roberts drives like a moped. And it turns out that key fob was actually a USB drive. And I don't know. Okay, so USB. Does Hardison have like specifically designed phones? Because that's like a USB. And
I mean,
Hardison,
of course he will.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Yeah. So Elliot plugs the USB into the phone, and Hardison goes through all the files that are on the drive, and
But I love the fact that Elliot is so confused before he plugs it in. He goes, "What the fuck? What?"
Yeah. It's like, what?
And to me, that reminded me
Elliot?
of
Oh, thank you for whoever scanned the QR code. I don't know who did, but thank you.
Oh yeah, it was.
No,
It was
sorry.
I love it. Kind of reminded me of an episode of NCIS where it was Gibbs and McGee, and Gibbs had to go undercover as the geek. He knows nothing about computers or technology.
Oh god, that's funny.
You're welcome for the little bit of a chuckle.
That's fun. All right, let's carry on a bit though. So Hardison goes through all these files and sees that Dr. Roberts had a meeting with Darren Hoffman, who's we find out is the CEO of Peligen, and also that there's a that Hoffman was trying to buy some for $200,000. And he thinks it's a bribe, but nothing shows up in Dr. Roberts' accounts that shows that big of a transaction. And so Darren Hoffman's the CEO of Peligen, who bought out JRP Pharmaceuticals. So that's like the other link. And Hardison kind of explains it like this guy has nothing to do with medicine. He's like a career guy with like probably a business degree. And he's basically chasing the CEO chair. Like he wants to be CEO. And then Elliot drops the first bomb of this episode by revealing that Dr. Roberts was dead. And they made it look like a heart attack. And of course, Nate's like, what do you mean made it look like? And then Elliot finds an injection mark underneath the fingernail as saying that, there's places people would use to fake a heart attack. And Elliot finds it under the fingernail and he reveals that Dr. Roberts was murdered. Which, if I know correctly, I think this is the first dead body we've seen on Leverage.
Yep.
Yeah, because season 1, there was no, it references like people that have died, but we don't actually see.
technically this is the second one. The first one we saw was Sam in the flashback episode in season
That
1.
don't count.
It kind of does because he was
Okay,
gone.
a murdered body.
But yeah, first stabby stab, murdered.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in this case,
First
it was
actual like murder,
but
which is kind of a weird thing for Leverage at this moment.
yeah,
we don't
but
expect that.
that's also the stakes because like watch this episode, you're thinking like, oh, maybe they just like run him out of town because like whatever, or he got spooked and ran because you like never see a dead body on Leverage up to this point,
Exactly. Yeah.
which I think it works really well for Leverage because that's the easiest way for them to raise the stakes because they're like, oh shit, we got a dead body. This is some serious shit right here.
I love how they're all like, crap. Oh crap. Oh crap. What do we do?
Also, this is our first hint that this is also our first hint that Elliot's done sketchy shit because how does he know where people had a dead body? And I think Adam donated to the It was Adam. Thank you, Adam, for donating to the Ko-Fi. I just got a notification that it must have been Adam. Thank you, Adam. Honestly, I kind of forgot how that worked for a second. It's been a while since like I've really used it, but I appreciate it, Adam. Thank you. Yeah. So the other hint that we kind of see that. Sorry, I'm moving on a bit. So Elliot, the other time we see Elliot did sketchy shit is in the Boys Night Out job where he mentions how peanut allergies and terrorism don't mix.
Yeah, I remember that, and I liked how like the reaction was like, "What? Huh?"
Elliot, did you just admit that you caused anaphylactic shock and killed it? So you did kill a guy with an appetizer.
Wait, no, that was the wedding job.
And he actually killed somebody with an appetizer.
Yeah.
I think.
I like how he goes, did you just kill a guy with an appetizer? Like,
maybe.
No, yeah, maybe. No, you definitely did. That would be the first time that you used food probably to kill somebody.
So
I love that. I love how chaotic this episode is.
Yeah, so next episode. Or no, my God, what am I saying next episode for? Sorry, moving on. The next bomb that gets dropped is from Sophie and Elliot, or Sophie and Parker, as they reveal that all the names on the Arcadia list are all dead and are people who participated in the trial, and now they're all dead. So now it's like doubly oh shit, because now they got a dead body and a list of dead people.
Yep.
Which is the most dead I think they've ever done on Leverage. Okay, minus the Big Bang job. Because Ellie did kind of murder a whole room full of Moreau's goons. But anyway,
to be fair, that was well like needed. It was necessary. It was survival.
It was necessary. You're right. But yeah, so moving on. So back to the apartment, Nate and Sophie do a little talking. And Sophie goes on to explain the 15 people from Arcadia participated in the trial. 10 of them died due to acute liver failure. And Nate has some technical difficulties with the boat getting a damn it Hardison. And she says that Hardison's looking out for Ashley and Parker's helping. And Nate's like, Parker's helping? Or no, sorry. Nate says that Hardison's looking after Ashley and Parker's helping. So if he's like, Parker's helping? Because I think we know that I think we know Sophie knows everything. So she knows Parker's jealous. I think that's what she's like. Parker's helping? Yeah, so basically Nate explains that after like the buyout with GOP Pharmaceuticals and Palagen, Hoffman has all traces of Arcadia erased online, but he can't control the library. And shout out to libraries and librarians because
you guys are awesome.
Libraries and librarians. We love you guys.
AKA the guardians of knowledge, literally.
Yes. Why do you think they call it the librarians?
I see what they did there.
Sneaky bastards.
Anyway. I know.
So anyways, so Dr. Roberts finds the connection between Hoffman and HT1. So Hoffman offers the 200K as a bribe. Roberts doesn't take it, and Hoffman has Roberts killed. And so he suggests they run the Swedish Railcon. Nate's like, nah. And he suggests the Cara Flower. So it's like, oh no, I'm not wearing that dress again. And then they both go with the Double Blind, hence the name of the episode. So Swedish Railcon and Cara Flyer are not real cons. I Googled, not real. But Double Blind is. It is actually super common in drug trials where they give 15. They give 15 people a drug. Half of them get 15 doesn't match. Yeah, so 15 gets the drug, 15 do not. But nobody knows who has what. So nobody knows if they have the drug and nobody knows if they have like a placebo. And I did actually meet someone at the airport who I enrolled in TSA PreCheck that worked for did these type of things, and her job was to basically monitor these double blind experiments. So I think the idea why they named it the Double Blind Con is the fact that nobody knows what's really happening. Well, in this case, it's the Mark has no idea what's really happening.
Yeah.
Until you do the reveal.
Of course.
Yeah, but there are supposed to be regulations to control these type of things, regulated by the FDA.
But sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Indeed. So the plan is for Parker to break into Hoffman's office to find out what Roberts had on him. So she's going undercover as Parker's going under as a drug rep and ex-cheerleader. And Sophie's going to establish a relationship with Hoffman so she can be there when they show him Ashley's evidence. And Elliot's got to clear out a meeting by flirting with the drug rep that Hoffman's supposed to meet with. So they do all this, and the plan gets expanded. We discover Hoffman plans on releasing HG1 as this new drug, Bioplex, which is bad because now a lot of people are going to die.
or
And
get
Nate
really,
finds
really hurt. And that actually does happen quite a bit. I found out because I did a little bit of research in the pharmacy. This has happened once before with an actual drug. I think it was for weight loss, if I remember correctly. When I looked this up, they got denied. The FDA denied approval. So it was the same chemical as a. I think it was like a. I can't remember if it was like for like antiviral or something like that, or antiparasitic.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they rebranded it as an anti-parasitical drug, but it was the same medicine that was for weight loss. And hundreds of people got hurt.
Yeah. So
And that's what they're kind of dealing with at this moment in this job. And I'm like, they do a lot of bait and switches and like rebranding for pharmaceutical drugs and stuff like that, and like chemicals and stuff.
yeah. So
And it's sad.
yeah.
It's
So
literally sad.
yeah, but moral of the story is don't be taking weird shit off the internet.
Or if you plan on doing so, do research first and actually try to dig into the company if you can.
And consult your doctor on any
Yeah.
major medical
And
changes.
like, and if you're taking any medication, look it up if you want to. Figure out the name of it, where it comes from, what it's made out of.
Watch those drug interactions.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor about interactions with food, medicine,
Yeah.
other drugs.
Yeah. And if
All
you
this
are, and if you're afraid of something like that happening, talk to somebody.
or
See if
talk
they
to
can,
your pharmacist.
yeah, get an alternative to the drug or something similar that won't hurt
Yep.
you.
Yep. All right.
Be
It's-
smart, people.
Yep. Be
Do the
smart.
research.
Yes. So let's move on. So Nate also finds out there's been serious bribes that Hoffman did to basically push this dangerous drug through. And now they need the vials. That's what Parker's got to do. So Parker's got to get the vials and scan all the documents to find out where like these vials could be. Now Elliot's got to involve the actual drug rep in the con.
Interesting.
So Elliot does a little flirty flirt. Little
To be fair, who wouldn't
gruff
who
mouth.
wouldn't want to have freaking Christian Kane flirt with them?
I mean, I would have at Electricon, but I was scared he was going to beat my ass.
He's too sweet to do that. He's too kind. He's too sweet of a person.
I was scared somebody would beat my ass. So moving on. So Parker scans all these documents and cuts it really close to the wire at Nate's urging, but she leaves before security can get there. But back at the bar, Sophie walks in and Nate tries telling her, like, okay, listen, we need to. And Sophie's like, you pushed Parker way past the red line tonight. Like, she lays into him. And she's like, like she
It
puts out
was more of like, you almost got our daughter hurt. How stupid of you. You're an idiot.
Yeah. Then she points out that like he's being extra pushy because he's middle cup, and you're just like, anything that reminds you of your son. And it's like, since when do you question? So it's like, oh yeah, since you went off the rails and we had to pull you out of prison. Oh, and we got blackmailed. Thank you very much. It's like, fair point. And so it's like, listen, you're a thief now. That means I could call you out whenever. Like, that means I could call you out wherever I feel like you're crossing the line. And remember, Nate, I'm the only one who actually likes you. And then she walks away and whew.
I like how she goes, yeah, remember, I'm the only one. Because at this point, yeah, all the others they kind of don't trust him now, and they don't really
tolerate him.
Yeah.
But they're still.
I'm the only one that likes you at this moment, so it's because you messed up and you did some dumb shit.
Yeah, like you're going off the rails. You need to get your head out of your fucking ass and actually do your job. As we see, Nate takes the wrong message from this, and
of course,
but what we see though is Elliot. And then we see Elliot has like his head on the table. He's a hurting pup, okay. And Hardison, of course, is making fun of Elliot for his like little Jennifer Pearson wore out, huh? And he's like, dude, like shut the fuck up.
And seeing Elliot and just like, oh, that was so stupid of me. Like, oh.
Yeah, like not sore.
He looked like so like defeated. It was refreshing. It was refreshing to see him in like so defeated.
Yeah, and also,
and honestly, I admit it was kind of satisfying to see him kind of like, oh, I give up.
Well, to be fair, they don't really show that too often on Leverage when Elliot's like at his limit. But in the season 3 premiere of Redemption, they do that.
Yeah.
Which also I think shows his growth as a character, whereas before he's like, I'm fine. But in that particular episode, he gets knifed in the arm, so he's bleeding, but he can only like tourniquet it and he can't like stitch it.
Yeah.
And Elliot says like, I was like cut. Like I'm gonna be at half speed for a while.
Yeah.
And even later on, he's like it's like really hurting.
And I like where the moments where he actually shows some vulnerability of like, and then in the episode where he gets red haze and is drugged.
Oh yeah,
he's so weak and so vulnerable. He's like, yeah, I need y'all's help. Help me.
Because he also
he willingly accepts their help, but at the
for the most part, you can like tell he's like all kinds of fucked up in the head, and then like he's heavily leaning on Blanche and Parker.
Yeah.
And then he's still like kind of out of it, even though they got the saline flushing his system out.
Yeah, and I like when he's like draped over both of them. He kind of like looks at Parker and he goes, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And it takes him a good 15-20 minutes, like 20 seconds to realize what's going on. And that's not very often that we see him in that vulnerable state of where am I, what's happening, what's going on, and kind of just confused. I like when we get to see him in a vulnerable state of I need help.
Yeah. And it gets me emotional when we see that.
Because as Christian has said, he's the one that's taking the punches and taking all the shit, and he can handle it. But when it comes to him being vulnerable, he can't handle losing control.
Well,
even for a little bit.
Why do you think I'm emotionally attached to Elliot Spencer?
True.
We should move on with this episode.
Speaking of which, I need to.
Yeah. Yes.
My little Elliot.
Move on a bit. So Hardison basically reveals that these vials are going to be hard to find, as there's like a bunch of storage places it can be at. And Nate's just like, okay, like we'll use Sophie's friendship, and I'm gonna push him. And Nate or Elliot and Hardison look at each other, and Elliot's like, Nate, you realize the last person who pushed this guy ended up dead, right? And Nate's like, and Nate just does
he's like, yeah, it'll be fine. I can handle it.
like
He kind of dismisses it, and I'm like,
and,
dude, do you have a death wish? I think you have a death wish.
yeah, and Harson's like, prison's changed him. Now it's like for better or worse. I was like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Nate's gone off the rails officially now. So Sophie then meets with Hoffman, who does his evil speech of evil. And in case you're unfamiliar with that term, the evil speech of evil is what we call the monologue that the bad guys always give in these episodes, where they justify their evil thing that they do. In this case,
and that term was coined by, I think it was Chris Downey.
was, yeah,
evil.
yeah, because
I love it. It makes me giggle every time I hear it.
Downey used to be a corporate lawyer.
Of course.
Yeah, but so anyways, Hoffman, he says about how like these like even the complaints and fines they have, like the amount of fines they have to pay versus the profit, like it's going to be worth it because like by the time all these complaints coming in to pay off the fines, there he's going to be long gone to the next thing. And honestly, I'm surprised that Sophie has not thrown up more on these evil men because of how disgusting they can be sometimes.
I mean, she probably has, but we haven't seen it.
You know what? That's what we should have gotten in season 4 of Redemption.
Or her just going,
Fucking Prime Video, Redemption.
Yes. Or just her making gagging noises.
Dean Devlin. If he could somehow bring Redemption back, please have a bad guy gross. So not, I say gross, I mean be so evil that Sophie's able to he even like
that make her like make him so evil, the bad guy so evil that she gets like she gags because she's like, ugh, can't stand you.
Yeah, and like she struggles with having to be a grifter because of it. Like, because look, you got, we know you got plenty of inspiration. That's all I'm saying. I'm not moving on. But yeah, Sophie ends up faking getting cold, and so Hoffman offers her his jacket, and then she fakes a phone call and she kind of steps away. Then Nate enters, telling Hoffman that he knows everything and wants money to stay quiet. And he also has the vials of HD1. And because of that, and the tracker, Sophie planted in Hoffman's jacket, they're able to track Hoffman to the storage locker. So Parker's now got to go and steal the vials, and Nate gives Parker an identical case to the one the vials are in. Sophie walks into this like launch they're doing for the drug and meets with Hoffman as he is on the phone. Harrison traces the call to Nate because Nate's phone rings. Nate answers it, and Hoffman obviously sets a trap by telling Nate to meet him at the launch. And it's funny that he's like, "Yeah, I'll be there," and her just like, "Nope," like she's like, "Nate, like what the hell are you doing? Like it's obviously a trap, Nate." And Nate's just like, "Well, I guess you're gonna have to get to me before they get, or you're gonna have to get to them before they can get to me first." It's like, Nate, that is not helpful.
I like that. He's like, ugh. I love when the team gets annoyed with Nate. It's hilarious.
He's got to be watching Nate now. Elliot, because Elliot's at the lounge because of Jennifer. And Elliot gets friend zoned by Pierce. Because like Elliot's telling Nate what to like look for to like look to like see like who might be the one like poking him. And then Persia comes over and is like, "You think so?" And Ellie's like, "Yeah, sure." And then because he like didn't hear what she was saying because he's focused on Nate. And she basically is like, like you're a lot of fun, but like I just want someone more like dangerous and rugged, and like all you drug company guys are the same. Like you love the job, like you're married to the job. And you can see slowly Elliot's ego getting shrunk down. And it's like, well, you're
You
gonna
can kind of see him start to like shrink into himself. He's like, "Oh fuck."
yeah, like yeah, I'll sign the papers. Like we can hang out, still be friends. The first focus is like be friends. What's funny is Nate's like, "You need a minute, like to recover." No, she's like, "Shut up," because he got friend zoned. Oh, quiet. Anyways, Parker gets to the vials in the storage locker, though Ashley and Harrison are, excuse me, talking over one another as they, yeah, sorry, they're talking over one another as they're trying to like help her get into the vault or the storage locker. Sorry, Nate accidentally nearly breaks the arm of someone with a pen, thinking they're like the person sent to kill him. And Parker triggers the motion sensors, so Parker's got a boogie. It tells him to bug out. Parker escapes, locks the guard in the cage, and she pulls an Elliot by sliding across the floor and knocking shins out with the case. So Elliot would be proud. And the HT1 valves are in the cage. So Nate goes to leave, but he's supposed to go and a bunch of others grab him and bring him to Hoffman's office. And I like this shot because you see on the poster this wrench because Nate like grabs the guy's hand, shoves it into the cardboard sign.
Yeah, I think whatever the heck it is.
It was like a display, but it was like
Yeah.
cardboard, and you just see like them pulling Nate away, and you just see the syringe sticking like in the cardboard. And it's like, oh shit, nearly was a Nate. So they bring Nate to Hoffman's office, and Hoffman reveals he's got the case and has the guard sitting outside, which Elliot takes him out. And what's funny is he goes up to that. He's like, "Hey, you want some coffee?" Proceeds to beat the fuck out of him. And of course, Hoffman thinks he's got the upper hand. And then once Elliot's clear the floor, Nate says he's got the vials, and Nate pretends that the drug is now in the champagne everyone's drinking, and that the case is empty. Because Parker swapped the cases and triggered the motion sensors to basically make it look like she got caught, but she really didn't. Then the real Jennifer Pearson comes in, and Hoffman gets all confused, but he realizes Sophie is a fake. So Hoffman leaves, freaking out. Nate tells Jennifer to follow him and gives her the case. Of course, Hoffman's going down. He's knocking glasses over, being like, okay, like, don't drink the champagne. It's been poisoned. We got to get to the hospital. And then on the projector, you see like the slide where it's HT1 and Vioplex being the same drug. And Jennifer has the vials. And Hoffman's like, oh, well, that's just an empty case. But then Jennifer opens up the case and there's the vials because it wasn't just an identical case that Parker switched out. It is a trick case. So basically, the vials were in there the whole time. And now Hoffman's going down for selling this dangerous drug. It was funny. Sophie goes up to Nate. It's like, that stunt you pulled is the very definition of out of control. And it's like, oh, like I just wanted to show you that like I was willing to take the same risk I would ask of you guys. And Sophie just looks at him like, I like how you think that's comforting. Like, no, Nate, that is not what Sophie meant when she said to stop doing stupid shit. Okay? That is not what she meant. So yeah, back at the bar, Hardison and Ashley talk, and Hardison gives Ashley the list of people who need help. So like other families that have been you have like people who died in the trial, and also a check that the FDA awards whistleblowers, and they get like a portion of the fine as like a reward for like whistleblowing, and it's a lot of money. And they say their goodbyes, and Sophie and Parker are sitting at the bar. Parker's got like gripping this beer bottle tight, and Parker's like, oh, like, or Sophie says Parker breaks the bottle, and then like Parker ends up shattering this bottle because Sophie's saying like, hey, you're jealous, like you don't like it when he talks to other women. Parker's like, no, like I'm not jealous. I just don't like it when he talks to other people. It's like,
that's jealousy.
That's jealousy, babe.
I like it, and I want to know.
She doesn't say
that was funny. I know it was breakaway glass, but how many times did they have to film that for her to get it just right?
That breakaway glass is sensitive,
but still, it takes quite a bit of pressure to break it.
Yeah. So
I don't want to know how many times they had to film that.
But anyway, Sophie tells Parker that she needs to tell Hardison how she feels, and so Ashley leaves. Hardison comes over. Sophie leaves, claiming that she's tired. I'm going to bed, so she's leaving. And Hardison kind of looks over, and then she's like, "I need to tell you something." And Hardison's waiting there. Parker doesn't say anything. Hardison's like, "You like you wanted to tell." They're just like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "So I've been having feelings, like weird, strange feelings for." And instead of saying you, she says pretzels, because that is what's on the bar counters, pretzels.
Yeah, and you can kind of see her eyes go down to the bowl that's sitting in front of them.
Because she's like, oh shit, I'm not actually ready for this. Like I thought it was. I need pretzels. And Hardison just kind of shakes his head, like nods a bit. And it's like, okay. It slides over the bowl.
It goes, they're right here whenever you're ready for them.
Which
that was cute. Yeah. And I know what he means by that. He's like, I'm here whenever you're ready.
Yeah, because this is Hardison Parker speak first, and Parker's saying, I don't understand. Like, I don't really understand what I'm feeling, nor do I know how to process what exactly I am feeling.
But I want you. That's what that was. And he goes, that was his way of saying, I understand.
Yeah, like
I'm ready for whenever you want to like commit to whatever this is. It's so cute. I love it.
And Hardison passing the bowl is being like, I will wait for you until you are comfortable. admitting your feelings out loud. And what's funny though is Parker looks between the bull. She looks at Hardison, and she's kind of looking at them like between the two, like shocked. She has this, like shocked expression on her face. And I think that was her thinking like, oh, maybe like he does have feelings for me and he is willing to be patient with me while I figure out what I'm going through. And it's just adorable.
I know.
But that is the end of the episode. So, we don't talk about pretzels. So I'm going to my final notes, but pretzels. I love that pretzels though becomes the thing between like Parker and Hardison. Like
and I mean, even in a few other episodes, she goes, I'm in the mood for it. He goes, what? What is it? It goes,
it's the Big Bang Job.
I know.
No, you're taking over. He's like, what? He's like, pretzels.
And the little smirky smirk that he gets on his, the smirk that he gets on his face before he opens his mouth is fucking hilarious. And I love it. But I like how she finally is like, this is what I am. This is what I'm feeling.
They bring back the pretzels motif again because there's oftentimes they'll have like bowls of pretzels.
And it's very subtle too, and I love it.
And then also in season 3, there's a big conversation between Hardison and Parker because Hardison goes to leave again because he's not become disillusioned, but he's starting to be like, okay, like we're fixing the problem after it's already happened.
Yeah.
Like, why can we, like, I want to like stop the problem altogether. And even Hardison says, he looks at Elliot and says in that episode, no, because maybe I'm tired of seeing my friends maybe I'm tired of seeing you take punches meant for me. And also like Parker and Hardison talk with the pretzels. And that's part of it is like, they're eating pretzels and Parker's like, look, like, I don't like it, but like, I understand why you're doing this. And maybe this is my opportunity to reevaluate too.
Yeah. And then I think like there's a little bit of a shift that's happening in their relationship at this moment. And I really like that.
Where, like, they're figuring out that like Hardison, like if we're doing like season 1 was Hardison flirting with Parker.
Yep.
And Parker not realizing it. Season 2
was kind of her realizing, oh, he's trying to get my attention.
Yeah, and now season 3 is like Parker being like, oh shit, I might actually have feelings.
Yep.
For Hardison, he does too, but I don't know what to do, but they can't exactly do anything about it. And then season 4, Parker's like, oh shit, like I actually have real feelings for you. I want to do this. In season 5, they actually start dating.
Yeah. And then I can't remember which episode it was, but I think it might have been an episode. Yeah, there was an episode, and I think it was either late season 4 or early season 5, where she almost loses him, and she finally realizes that if he's gone,
that was
it was the Grave Danger Job.
No, season 4, Grave Danger Job.
Yeah, where she almost loses him, literally almost loses him, and she panics.
But she's like, you hear me, Alex, I need you.
Yeah, and she realizes that this is what love means, is like if you lose somebody that you love and care for, part of you goes with them. She doesn't want that to happen.
Yeah, I feel like that aspect, I feel like they should have explored more when it came to redemption, but I understand why they didn't. It just would have been too much, I think, with all the other storylines they were doing. It was,
and then like in Redemption, you can kind of see their growth over the years between when Leverage ended and when Redemption picks up.
There's 8 years between there.
Yeah, you can see how their growth has been, and I love it. I love it.
That Parker and Hardison, I think, are the most stable relationship out of any couple on TV.
True. Very true. I love
it. Certainly more stable.
I love how each season they kind of progress a little bit, and then there's moments where they get challenged with their relationship in certain aspects, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, this would be, I would say, episode like the first challenge they overcome.
Yeah, and I love it.
The one song with them. Yeah. So I actually get the feeling though in this episode that Elliot was actually genuinely upset that he got friend zoned. But I think that goes along with the bigger picture when it comes to Elliot and relationships that we see. And we also get this in the context with the next episode because, he tells Amy, or he tells Caitlin, I call her Amy, like, we see him tell Caitlin that, like, he's so far down this road, he can't really go back anymore.
Yep.
And also, like, he realized, like, you can't give that, like, he couldn't be with someone fully because he has all these other responsibilities.
And he even mentioned, he was like, yeah, at the time when I was in, he said, when I was ready to give my heart away, I had to choose between giving my heart away to somebody human or to my country, and I chose my country.
Yeah, that is basically summarized about what he tells Caitlin.
Yeah, and it's just like
that he made a promise that he'd always be there for her, and
then like in the last damn job, which he says, yeah, it's like, I haven't seen the guy that had love of country here in his heart and had a flag on his shoulder. I haven't seen that guy in a very long time.
Yeah, he's seen it over 10 years.
Yeah.
Sticking with like the actual relationships. And even in like Redemption, we see him
try at least.
we see less like the one night stands, but in Redemption, we see him actually trying, with Maria, but that goes
south really quickly when she realizes who he actually is and figures it out of like, you're a criminal.
And Elliot can't bring himself to like, though in a way, I think Elliot being like, I've never like been like this open. That I think that was close to him begging.
Yep. And then like
we've ever seen.
In that episode at the end when they're talking and she walks away, literally he's just like,
yeah,
and he asked her if things were different, would this still have a chance? And she goes, yeah, but
yeah,
it's not different.
Yeah, because think like
you can't do this.
Is
yeah,
I act like
and I think
I can see myself.
I mean, even in Leverage, he realizes that I am so broken that I can't be loved.
Yeah, and then even in season 2,
but here's the thing: he can't be loved by anybody normal.
Yeah, which is why he's perfect for Parker and Hardison.
I know.
That's my only shit.
It's like, well, no, because the team is his heart in this.
Yeah.
Now, he had no heart. He's
Elliot's always
like Christian said, he's the Tin Man. He's looking for a heart, but
it's never going to be attainable.
It's not attainable. But he realizes that, wait, I do have a variation of a heart. He realizes later on. He goes.
So I guess the question is, if he's looking for a heart, is the reason? I guess the question kind of becomes: is Elliot unable to find a heart because he hasn't found the right heart for him, or it's been so long since he's been so long without one that he
doesn't know how to recognize what he needs.
He doesn't even know how it fits anymore.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
If you want to stick to the Tin Man analogy.
Yeah. He's had this missing piece for so long that he doesn't know if it'll fit.
He's like forgotten what it
would feel like. Yeah.
And it's probably become like the shape's probably, if we're sticking with that analogy, the shape's probably changed from like all the trauma he's gone through, that he maybe is struggling to find like the piece that fits. Like pieces have been close, but nothing's fit right in that. And like it's almost like if you were to put like,
it's like trying to put it's
like putting tape over a hole instead of like cork.
Yeah. It's like, the way that I see it, it's like
he's been putting tape over his heart for so long.
Well, okay, so to me that it's kind of like the analogy of a Band-Aid over a bullet hole.
Okay, yeah.
It's not that trauma so deep and so penetrating that a Band-Aid's not going to fix it. A Band-Aid, or the way that I see it, one person's not going to fix it. You have to have surgery and fix the damage. And when he's with the team, he is fixing the damage inside of him.
And also, there, like, if you think about with like bullet hole surgery, there's often like multiple surgeries that come within. There's like multiple different things they have to do to fix it. So there's
with Elliot, he's on the multiple steps to getting fixed.
Yeah.
And the way that I see it in Redemption, he is somewhat almost fixed. He's not quite there yet, but he's getting there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Season 2. Yeah, season 2 doesn't go with anyone. In season 3, he also doesn't. But Sophie starts dating again.
Yep.
And actually, so does Harry, and that becomes part of the thing. And I would love for them to expand that. I honestly would be curious to see how Redemption would have done with finding the because to me it would be the OT3. That would be what I would do. But I also am the same person who wrote a 79 chapter fan fiction and then wrote a sequel fan fiction that's now at probably like 20 some chapters, where it started out as me creating who I thought was Elliot's perfect woman, which then turned into a therapy piece to deal with my own trauma, which then turned into this story about grief, love, survival, but also redemption and healing, and finding healing and redemption. And so I wish they didn't cancel Redemption, because I would have loved to have seen what the writers would have done if they would have done the OT3, because I feel like it was so close and then it got fucking canceled.
I know.
And we mentioned this before we went live, but I feel like, I guess with more with what's been going on with Nate, and we see this consistently, is the self-sabotage. Nate self-sabotages a lot.
Yep.
especially when it comes to like his relationship with Sophie, his relationship with the team himself. He does things that I think he knows will get like the result he doesn't want, but that's also like the control freak in him. And I do understand this because my therapist has said I'm a bit of a control freak, and no, not, and sometimes like the pain either you cause or the pain you get, it, like if you do get it enough times, you like come to expect it, and then you start self-sabotaging relationships. So and that's also along with Nate going out of control, is he's self-sabotaging. And I do appreciate that Sophie called him out on his shit. But I do appreciate that in this episode we see more of the client. Because usually in a Leverage episode, we just see the client at the beginning of the episode and at the end of the episode, and then that's it. In this episode, we had the client all throughout the episode.
Yep.
And I think the only other one would be like Top Hat Job, but like that was like beginning. Then there was like a little bit, and then the end. And Nate, I think also because of like Nate's self-sabotaging tendencies, he misinterprets what Sophie is saying about, about him like pushing Parker and her being the only one to actually like Nate. And that Nate thinks that like, oh, that must mean that I need to take more risks myself, when really that's not what they were asking. She was asking of him. She was asking Nate to get his shit together and to stop putting the team in danger, not put himself in danger, because he thinks that's what they want.
Yep.
I also, this again is another case of the week episode where we don't get any Moreau mention.
Yep.
So yeah, because episode 2 didn't mention Moreau, and then so obviously Jailhouse Job mentioned Moreau. Reunion Job did not mention Moreau. Yep. Inside Job didn't mention Moreau. Scheherazade Job did, and then this one.
Yeah.
So far, only 3 out of the 5 episodes have mentioned Moreau. Which again, not every episode has to be about Moreau, but like he is supposed to be the overarching bad guy. And I mean, that's kind of all I got for this episode. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I liked how more simple, like the approach to this. Yeah, there was some chaos with Nate, which that's not unusual for season 3. It was more subtle in the way that they went about the job, which I really, really liked the approach of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that every one of them was more kind of like controlled in how they approached everything.
Yeah, until Nate got
control. Yeah, and then that shows growth. And then Nate decided to go all chaos gremlin and ruin everything.
Yeah.
As he does. But even with that, they were still pretty level-headed because they're used to his chaos by now. And I just like how that's kind of like what I've noticed. It's really interesting, actually.
All right, so yeah, definitely. So I'm going to start. I guess I'll start closing out this episode then, if there's something else you want to add. So first, I want to thank our sponsor, Nafco.org. If you want to support the podcast by buying a coffee, you could go on our Ko-Fi at Films and Fandoms. Shout out to Typist Fire Productions, aka Adam, for purchasing a coffee. Love you, man. This is our Discord if you want to join. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram at FN Fandoms with Kaylee and Lex, on Twitter at FN Fandoms, and on Facebook at Films and Fandoms. You could go on my website, Kayla Central Acting. You could also follow me on Twitter at MissMovieFan_67, on TikTok at MovieFan_67. And you could follow Alex on Instagram at Alex_the Alleycat, on Twitter and TikTok at Alex the Alleycat. Speaking of Typist Fire Productions, you can go support our friends over at My Filmworks on Facebook, see what kind of projects they got going on, because they got some cool things coming up. And so yeah. So next episode is going to be a good one, because the next episode is going to be Leverage Season 3, Episode 6, The Studio Job.
My favorite episode.
A Leverage.
By far my favorite episode.
Which
I do have a few, but it's like my top 5.
Yes, Studio Job. Which I just went to Nashville for my birthday, because my birthday was on Friday, and I went to the Country Music Hall of Fame, so now I'm very familiar with, and also Perry Bynes, my good buddy, he is a country music radio DJ, so I know that works. I know how the country music industry actually works. So I'm excited to get to talking about that with The Studio Job. So, yeah, if there's nothing else to add,
nope.
I guess we'll be seeing you guys for The Studio Job.
Bye.
Bye, guys.